Hello, this is the beginning of a new video. I completely forgot to do an intro, but I don't care because I'm going to talk about stuff going on. So I've decided that a lot of my vlogs are going to have some bookish element, unless it's like a holiday vlog or something, meaning that I realized a lot of the shit that I do in a week is book related anyway, especially now that I work in the industry and majority of my audience is bookish, and I think also that makes more sense to in a social media aspect of like what people watch, and then also because I spend a lot of time at home reading and I want to talk about what I'm reading when I read about them, because like when I go and sit down a month later to talk about what I've read, I'm like, I don't feel the fiery passion that I felt when I was reading it. So I'm going to talk about what I'm reading, how my TBR shit is going. If you're new here, I have 1,000 books to get through. No word of a lie. And then on top of that, I also have some bookish stuff going on this week. I am in store. I work for the First London Romance Bookshop as the head of social. So I'm in store on Thursday, and then Saturday I have the Meet Cute Book Fest I've been invited to, which is really exciting. So I'm looking forward to that. And then yeah, TBR, that's what I was going to talk about. So my TBR, yesterday I think I filmed, today's Tuesday, so not yesterday, I think Sunday morning I was like, oh, I'm not in the mood to read, so I'm just gonna wait, and like I'll probably last minute finish some books like in a week's time. I lied and I read like 2 books yesterday. I'm suddenly in the mood. I don't know where the mood has come from, but I'll accept it and I won't question it. I finished Everything is Tuberculosis by John Green. 5 stars. I love that man with my whole fucking chest and need him desperately to write more teen like YA romance. I just do. But Everything is Tuberculosis was so interesting. I also think it was better than the Anthropocene review, which was still good. I love stuff like that, but I think this was better. So yeah, that was fab. So that was my I get to about like 1 audiobook a month, so that was my audiobook of the month technically. And then the next audiobook I'm gonna be listening to is Hot Dutch Daydream, which has been on my TBR for ages, so I'm really excited to get to that. And then I also read, I'm trying to think if I read anything after. There was one book I know I read, but was there something else in between that? And I don't think there was. But anyways, I've started yesterday reading How to Kill a Rock Star, which has been on my TBR arguably for one of the longest times ever. I'm talking years and years. 5 stars. I don't want to talk about it. It destroyed me, and it's such a like, there's this really weird thing. I don't know if it's weird, but there's this thing in like my circle of friends and kind of like the online sphere of like, this is very Mia coded, and like I feel like people say that a lot about Call Me By Your Name, obviously, but anything that's like Mia coded, I feel like I'm absolutely obsessed with. And this is one of those things where I was like, this is so Mia coded, and I would sell my soul for this book. I saw some like really negative reviews for it. It actually has like over 4 stars with like over 1 million reviews, so it's actually mostly really loved. And if you don't know what How to Kill a Rock Star is, it's a romance, but it's a contemporary romance. It's not a fluffy romance. I think it was written in like 2005. It's like more along the lines of OG David Nichols, and that like one day in, not now with the TV show, but when I originally read One Day years ago, that was so Mia coded, and I just, contemporary romance is my favorite, and contemporary romance is not like romance the fluffy romance or smutty romance. I'm talking real contemporary romance. So basically no book that has like those two characters on the front of the page, basically. As much as I love that stuff, because I really do, I own most of that, but contemporary romance is where my heart is. And so if you go into it thinking you're gonna get like a hockey romance or rock star romance, it's not that. It's not fluffy, it's not smutty, it's contemporary, it's literary, and it destroyed me. And people were like, this is a miscommunication trope gone too far. There was no miscommunication, there was lies. There's a difference. They purposely lied to each other. That's not a spoiler, I'm not going to tell you what they lied about, but they purposely lied to each other. There was no miscommunication in that book. It was pure lies. I just think it was so ridiculous and incredible, and I think that most people would find, I don't know, well no, because it has such high ratings still. I think a few people might find the characters annoying, but the point is that they are flawed. That's the whole point. They're fucking insufferable and in love with each other and obsessed with each other, and they would literally die for each other. And it's just like, that's it. Like, that's the whole point, is that they're fucking like, their entire lives revolve around each other. It's not meant to be a, oh, is this okay to write about in these times of two people unhealthily obsessed with each other. It was written in 2005. It's a contemporary romance, and also like relationships like that are realistic. As someone who is in one and has been in one for a long time, it's just real. Like, those connections are real. And if I think it's, if you've gone through that, it's more likely you'll understand that. Thank you. So yeah, you have to go into it knowing nothing, and be aware though that they're fucking annoying, but it's so beautiful. It's just so stunning. It's a stunning work of art, that book. And yeah, I loved it. It's one of my favorite books of all time now. It kind of gives rom-com from like the early 90s vibes. That's what it gives. But incredibly written. Anyways, now clearly I'm on to The Night Circus, which has also been on my TBR for years and years and years and years and years. If you haven't watched my TBR video, I'm trying to finish the Goodreads challenges, the Storygraph challenges, and finish books that were on my TBR for years instead of newer books. So this is one of them, alongside How to Kill a Rock Star. So far this is good. I am literally only just started it, but it's really, really good, and I'm so excited to read this, because again, one of those books that has like over 1 million reviews and is still in the 4 stars, which is incredible. So yeah, I'm really, really excited to get to this and have a little bookish week, which is my life in general.
As he should be. As he should.
And have a very, what I call sticky, quote-unquote, meat cute. Okay. Yeah, so it's very cute.
In every way possible.
Yes. We have small town. Small town. Yes,
so it's just on backwards. I was meant to go to the Meet Cute Fest today, but my friend who I was going with has like a broken leg, so, and I'm tired, so I decided to not go. It would take me 2 hours to get there anyway, so I was just like, you know what, I have a really busy week next week, very physically taxing kind of week, so just rest while you can, basically. However, I do have some book updates. So I can't remember where I left off, but I am currently reading, actually no, last night I finished The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern, and I liked it. It was really good. I did want a little something more from this. I think there were loads of stories and it went very back and forth between timelines. So there was like 1880 something and then like 1902, and it went back and forth quite a bit. So it's easy to get a little bit mixed up. And whilst I do love a book with like different timelines and different like character lines, like different plot lines, I do think there was room to make it a little bit clearer. However, I still gave it a 4.5 because I just think it was so well written. It was beautiful, but also I think that like I had hyped this in my head for years, that I wanted just a little bit more from it. Not a lot more, just a little bit more, just a tiny little bit. But yeah, still a really good read. I'm glad I finally read it. Definitely still love it. If you're new here, if you didn't see my last video either of like a similar bookish vlog, I basically stamp all my books that I keep. So basically they get into the Mia library, which is so cute. My best friend got me a little stamp, so I'm gonna stamp this, and I have a couple other books to stamp from this week that I finished. I'm also going to start Profit, so let me get that real quick. It's okay, you can stay there. So Profit, I met Helen McDonald, who half wrote this. The other author is 𝙃𝙀𝙧𝙖. I got this over a year ago. Again, I think it must have been like almost 2 years ago. The reason being that I had like loads of arcs to get to and I just didn't get to it. But I was invited to this event, had to pay for this. Some bookish people don't understand that when you invite people, they're not paying for a ticket. You need to give them, and like it's not like a massive big event, it's a tiny event. You have to have an incentive. Anyways, this, I remember going, I knew nothing about the author. There was also another author speaking about her book, but I believe her book was a bit more YA, which I don't usually read. So yeah, I knew off the bat that this was the one I wanted to focus on when I was there. And then when they were speaking, I literally knew nothing. So I was hearing all of this from the mouth of the author, and it was just so incredibly intriguing. And I think if someone can do that for me, like just talk about it, and I haven't, like, they don't even talk about like this is what happens. They just like kind of spoke about parts of it and like how it came to be, and the whole story was just incredibly awesome. So I was just like, yeah, this sounds like a bit of me. Got it signed, which is awesome. I really hope I like it because it really does sound very up my street. I actually believe that the way that this book came about was that the authors were on Twitter, and one wrote the beginning and one wrote the next bit on Twitter, and it just kept going basically. I believe that's how it was written, and I just, again, things like that was so intriguing. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to getting to this. I also, like, again, if you're new here, I did have a little mini viral video of my TBR shelves. which is over 1,000 books long, but I have my physical is about 400 books long. I'm trying to get like the thick babies out of there the most, as well as finishing Goodreads challenges, which I did. They actually finished on the 30th of this month, and I finished them this week, so I'm really happy about that. Story graph challenges, which are more a whole year challenge, whereas the Goodread ones are like a month challenge or like a few months challenge. And then also trying to read books that have been on there for a couple of years. So this came under that. It has to come under either 3 of those subjects. And this came under the last one, but it's also really big. It's really big. It's big. It's a thick boy. Because I got loads of new books. Of course I did. It's literally my job. And I'm trying to put them in the physical shelves by making space, because not all of them are this big. So I was like, okay, if I take a big one out, I can put 2 small books in and it looks like there's the same amount of books, because I have no more space basically in my room anywhere to put them. So there's that. So yeah, I'm so excited to get to this. It's likely I'll get to it, finish it probably early next week, because it's Saturday right now and I do want to start it today, but depending on how it goes, I'll probably finish it Monday-ish. So you should pop in on my next video to see how it's going, see if I finished it, see my thoughts if I have finished it. But yeah, I've still had a very bookish week. I feel like now that I work in the industry, every week is bookish, and it is like my niche, I guess, so there's that. I did take photo booth pictures with my best friend, even though I didn't get any videos of the day, because I realize how crap I am at this, because I'm just so in the moment. Like, especially when I'm with my best friend, I'm just like zoned in on her and nothing else. But we went to a park. It was really cute, very hot day. We had a meal deal and took some cute booth pics, which I love. We do it every month, and we probably will do that for the rest of our lives every month, which is really sweet to think about. But yeah, that's how it's going so far. I don't remember where I left off with ebooks, but I'm not doing the greatest, if I'm being honest, with ebooks. I read 1 this week, and I'm usually a lot better than that. So there's that. But yeah, I feel like I'm just gonna end up making loads of book-ish vlogs, like I said, because I'm in the industry now, so I'm literally constantly surrounded by it. I don't think that's a negative thing. I do hope I get to do more like normal vlogs, but I don't know. It's gonna be interesting to see. But yeah, let's stamp my books that I'm gonna put away today that I finished, and I'll start profits, and we can take a book out of the TBR shelves, small pile, and add in a couple, hopefully, now that this one's out and about and ready to be read, because I like to prepare.